What is going on, Z community? It's me, Tamer Azizz, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. An IQ Edge tutorial. If you're here, you know that IQ Edge is just Questrade's downloadable software, which is more suitable for day traders or swing traders. I've gotten a couple of requests of people asking me to do this walkthrough, so I said, you know what, why not? Now please bear with me because my laptop is currently on life support, so it might not be as fast as yours. So let's get started. Alright, so when you first open up IQ Edge, you'll likely see these two toolbars at the top, along with some windows that it's already there as a default. Personally, I cleared up all those windows so that we can start from scratch, but if you're not a fan of these two toolbars, there is a way that you can remove them, and this is by going to the Windows tab in the top left corner. You end up clicking it. Toolbar is just where all of the tools are and it's just a shortcut for you to get there. I personally don't like to use this because once I make my setup once, I don't really need to do it again or open up new tools. So to get rid of this, you go to Toolbar and then you uncheck the Show Toolbar option. Doing that, you see that the toolbar is completely gone. And the same thing would happen for the account bar. This just shows you your balance, the specific account that you're trading on, and then your P&Ls. For this one, I also just go to account bar from the Windows tab, and then I uncheck Show Account Bar. Like that, you have everything cleared. Now before we go into the different tools that IQ Edge has to offer, let's go through my user preferences just to get you familiar with how I have my settings. So you go to File in the top left corner and press User Preferences. Over here, you'll see that there's 5 different tabs: General, Order Entry, Level 2, Hotkeys, and Alerts. Personally, if you don't use Level 2, then you don't have to worry about this tab at all. In terms of hotkeys, this is basically just shortcuts that you can use through your keyboard. It's pretty straightforward. We'll start with that one. Basically, you have a bunch of different actions over here, and you can control which keys can do which actions. For example, if we wanted to buy something at a limit price, then you could set it to anything you'd want. Say we wanted to set it to F2, you just press F2 on your computer, and there you go. That's pretty straightforward. Let's go to alerts. So what an alert is basically the software will give you a message as to when a specific stock has gotten to a price point that you want it to. Now, I've mentioned this multiple times in either Questrade reviews or just comparisons in general. Their alert system isn't all that, in my opinion. Because honestly, they only give you 2 options, and that's to either send it to your email or send it to your text messages. If you're a long-term investor, this isn't too bad, but if you're a day trader or swing trader, it's like, what's the point? You know, I'm using the software, give me the notification on the software, and that's pretty much it. Anyways, enough rambling. You could basically put your email over here, or if you want it to get sent through text message, you just also put your phone number over there, and that's pretty much it. Now let's move on to the general. Over here you have your symbol, the global symbol, so anytime you open up a window, it'll automatically show you that global symbol first before having to enter anything else. Formatting, options, the positions itself, and then the theme. These are just general things that don't really need much explanation, and it really depends on what you prefer at the end of the day. Next is order entry. So personally, I have a default of starting at 50 stocks, starting at 50 shares, starting at 1 options contract, and starting at $1,500. And then basically if you use hotkeys, which is arrows or whatever you prefer, you can basically change the increments to whatever you'd like. For me, I just have it set up as 25, 1, and then 750. But this again, it depends on your preference. That's pretty much it for the user preferences. Level 2 is if you really want to see how it looks like. This is just how I have my settings. I personally don't really use level 2, so it doesn't really matter for me. But this is how it looks like. So we're just going to press OK. Now let's actually get on with the tools. So the first tool that we're going to be looking at is the account tool. This shows you 5 different tabs, which is either the summary, the orders, the positions, executions, or balances. Each of the tabs are pretty self-explanatory. Some people like to use this tool as a whole, whereas some people like myself like to separate them. In order to do this, all you have to do is press the X that is right beside the actual tab itself. So as you can see with the executions over here, you can see I've done a couple of trades today with SQs. So it basically just tells you all the orders that you've executed today. For this one, all I do is just put it to the side, just to keep track of how things are going with my day. And you could basically do the exact same thing with any of the other tabs here. For example, for orders, you would just cancel everything except for orders. Boom, boom, boom. And this is pretty self-explanatory as well. Whenever you place a certain limit order and it's still waiting to be filled, you will see your stock price pop up here and it'll tell you that, hey, you know what? This is your order. It's waiting to be executed. Now let's go into the chart itself. As we've discussed before, your default quote will appear over here. Because I like to trade SQs and TQs, the default chart over here is QQQs. Let's just go to Tesla to make it relatable for everybody. So over here, you have the chart. You can literally customize this to however you'd like. And there are a couple of things that you can do with the chart. The first thing that a lot of people like to use are indicators. So to add an indicator on the chart, it's as simple as just right-clicking, going to add studies. As you can see, the only study that we have here is volume. I don't personally use volume, so we're gonna press X, which is right beside that bar over here. You press X. I like to use the VWAP, so you just double click VWAP. I also like to use the relative strength index, also known as the RSI. You double click that. And just for MACD's sake, let's put MACD in as well. Some people like to edit these. For example, for the RSI, there are two types of ways that people can actually look at this RSI. You could actually customize your indicators. For example, if you wanted the VWAP to be in a specific color, you can modify that just by clicking the color and setting it to whatever you'd like over here. Whenever you have all of your things set up to your preference, you just press OK, and then you will see it apply on the chart right away. If you want to get more of a view, you could also adjust the indicators themselves. For example, put the MACD like that and RSI somewhere around this range. You could basically just play around with it until you get something that works for you. You can see over there. Now, how about Trendlines for those of you who like to use price action? It's the exact same situation. You right click on the chart and you press add drawing. Over here, you could do trend line, price line, Fibonacci fans. You've got all of the things that you need over here. For example's sake, let's just pick a price line. Once you press it, let's just say we want to add a support line over here. You just press and hold until wherever you'd like, basically. You put it over here, you've got yourself your solid support. As you can see, some price actions going on here as well. So you could add another one here and then boom, just like that. And the same thing applies to any other thing that you'd like, to be honest. If you want to put a trend line and you want to put something diagonally, you just pull off one of these. And you can see what I mean, right? Same thing with channels and anything else that you need. Now, alerts on the other hand. If you wanted to do alerts, you also right click on the chart and go to create new. From here, you could press create new alert entry. And you just pick whatever you're looking for. For example, this could be the bid price, the ask price, whatever the case may be. You pick whether it's greater than, less than, or equal to something. And then you put the value of what you're looking for. In this case, if you wanted to put 440, you press 440 and then you press activate. When this 440 price is hit, you will then get notified by email, text message, or even through the app sometimes if you're on it. Once you press activate, it'll be good to go. Now that we're done with the chart, let's put it on the side over here. Now, to put in short and simple terms, level 1 gives you the basic things that you would know about a stock before having to buy it, such as the bid price, the ask price, the highest points, the lowest points, and things like that. Personally, when I day trade, all I really pay attention to is the bid and ask, so I really just shorten it up until right over here, where I can only see the bid and the ask. I also make sure that there is room for me to buy and sell when I place the orders. Now, in case you're wondering, there is a way that you can actually pin these windows, and it really is useful for times where you have to kind of go like this, but you need to access like account executions and whatever. For this, you just press that little arrow thing in the top right corner, which is float, and you have it right over here. You could even place it literally wherever you'd like, even on top of the little X button over there. Because some people find it annoying when you try to put it up more, but then it causes a little scrolling thing. So that's what I do personally for the things that I use the most, such as level 1 entry and even the chart as well. So you could kind of do that. But for example's sake, because I want to show you guys how to use the tools and stuff, I'm only going to use it up to here. Then next tool we have is level 2. It went right behind the chart, and this is because we pinned it. So let's put it in our view and unpin this window. So as you can see, level 2 kind of looks a little scary. You can see all of these things going up and down. You don't have to worry about this. This is just showing you where people are placing their orders and how much volume is at specific price points. Because I personally don't use level 2, I'm just going to close it from here. And the next is activity. This will show you the activity that you have done throughout your entire account for the day. Now, to be honest, I don't use this because this is honestly, like, it's not that serious, but it just shows you all of the things that you need to know. For example, you disconnected, you connected, you bought, you sold, whatever the case may be, you'll find it all over here in your activity. Then you have the inbox. Just in case you're waiting for your crush to message you on IQ Edge Messenger, this is where you could find all the messages. I'm just joking. This is where you'll just find messages from Questrade telling you about new things or whatever the case may be. Next up is order entry. This I find pretty pointless because everything you need is really in level 1. As you can see over here, it's literally identical to it. You've got your quantity, your order type, your limit price, your duration, route, all that stuff is there, so I just use it on level 1 rather than the order entry. So let's just close that. Next one is the options. This, obviously, you will only need to concern yourself if you are an options trader, but it will show you everything that you need to know about options. For example, it'll show you the actual price symbol itself. It'll show you the different expiration dates with your ask, your bids, your strike prices, and things of that nature. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't need to worry about it. This is just if you're using options with IQ Edge. So for now, let's just close that. Next, you have your time and sales. You can see over here with the time and sales, you can see live data of what people are placing their prices at. For example, you see the price that they're placing the trade at, the condition, the exchange, and how many shares they're placing at that price range. I personally don't use this because I feel like it just adds a lot of noise when you're trading, so let's just close it. Next up is your watch list, which some people might actually find valuable in this situation. Yeah, over here you could just make your own watch list, so let's try that out. So let's create our own watch list. So you press that little add button, press new watch list, and let's call it Z Community. Boom. So whatever stocks that we want to put over here, you just type in their ticker symbol. Let's just say Tesla, TQs, SPY, and for sakes, let's just say McDonald's. Oh, that went in market view. We do not want that. McD's, you put that in, and then you have your watch list over here. You could also modify the columns by right-clicking and pressing edit columns. You could over here press what you want to see and what you don't want to see. You just untick it. You just press OK, and you have your watch list all over here. I know a lot of people who use a watch list, but me personally, I just like to trade TQs and SQs, and that's pretty much it. So let's just close that and move on to the next one. News and insights. A lot of people might find this valuable as well. And basically you can just type in whatever stock that you would like, and you will see everything that you would need to know about Tesla. For example, you see the Tesla earnings outlook, you see the registrations in California, you see the sales, you see everything that you need to know about Tesla. It's all over here. And whatever article that you would like to see, you just click it and read. Click it and read. This might give people some insight as to what's going on about Tesla even before market, after market, just to give them tips as to where the actual stock price is going to go. The next tool is StockTwits. Now, a little disclaimer about StockTwits if you don't know what it is already. Just imagine Twitter, but the conversation is all about stocks. I personally don't like using this because when it comes down to it, this can add more to your emotions, and when it comes down to trading, you need to kind of be emotionless. For example, if you were to look at stocks and you type in Tesla, whatever, you press enter and you see every single discussion that has been going on about Tesla. You see people just saying a bunch of stuff like, I don't like this because it adds noise, and you end up getting, and some people can actually get convinced to make trades that they shouldn't really be making. So for me, StockTwits is a no-go. The next one is your screener. Using the screener, you could put specific filters on in case you're looking for a new stock that has a lot of volatility, something that has a lot of hype right now that you want to get in on to get the most out of it for a day trade or a swing trade. So for the screener, to add filters, all you have to do is just go over here to the plus sign in the filters, and you just pick whatever you're looking for. It's kind of more like a pyramid over here, where if you want to press price, you could also press volume, and you could even do volatility over here. For the price, you have a bunch of different filters that you can put, a bunch of different ones that for volume, and the same for volatility. And you could just obviously put your ranges over here, whatever the case may be, whatever. And then you've got your whatever over here, same thing over here. And you just press apply, and a bunch of stocks will show up for you over here. If you're a fan of using screeners, this is a pretty good filter to find some good stocks. Otherwise, as I said, I only trade TQs and SQs, so it's not something that I personally use. The next tool we're going to be looking at are the market movers. Essentially over here with the market movers, you can see all of the hype that's going on right now with the stock market. You could choose between all the US markets, all the Canadian markets, or even choose filters from both markets. For example, for the US, you could look at the NYSE, the NASDAQ, ARCA, whatever you'd like. And same applies for the Canadian markets, such as the Venture Exchange, NEO, or even the TSX. You can also edit the columns over here as well by right-clicking on this gray part and then press edit columns. From here, you could uncheck and check anything that you would like or not like to see. Then you press OK, and then you could see everything that you would like to know. The next tool we're going to be looking at is the market view. Basically, this will show you somewhat of a heat map of any of the markets that you would like to see. The example that we're looking at over here is for the TSX. You could see which stocks are at the hype right now and their percentages, and you could see which stocks aren't doing as well. It also shows you their percentages. You can also change the markets that you would like to see, such as the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, whatever you would like to see. This will show you what companies are overperforming, underperforming, or just staying neutral. The next tool we're going to be looking at is the P&L Calculator. I don't think I could even do a review on that. Sorry. On to the next tool. The next one is the event calendar, which a lot of people will find really, really useful. Using the event calendar, you can see what major events are coming up for which companies. You can filter this out with earnings, dividends, analyst ratings, guidance, economics, splits, and you could even add more that you would like. IPOs, retail sales, conference calls. You pick it and it will show you which companies are coming up next, which companies have passed, so on and so forth. You could also filter out the dates as well, looking at something within the week or even something that's within the month. The next tool we're going to be looking at is the stock view. I'm a fan of the stock view because it shows you everything that you need to know about a specific company. Looking at Tesla, it'll show you all of the details that you would need to know. It's powered by Morningstar, which is a very reliable source in the stock market world. It tells you the business description, its rating, its uncertainty. It tells you everything that you would need to know. The peers, basically its competitors. The financials, it shows you the financial reports annually and quarterly, which is an awesome feat. And it'll also tell you the news. I really like the stock view because it shows you a bunch of the tools and it combines them all into one. When it comes down to long-term analysis, I actually like to use this tool, but when it comes down to my day trading, I'm not really a big fan. Next up is alerts, and this will really just show you all of the alerts that you have set up. And the last tools that we're going to be looking at over here is the research. This shows you market intelligence and intraday trader. you will actually have to use the browser interface to use both of these. These are all of the tools that I like to use. At the end of the day, this is what my setup ends up looking like. All I really need is the charts with my indicators, along with level 1, and just seeing if orders have went through or have been executed. That's pretty much it. If I missed out on a feature that you would like to know more about, just let me know in the comment section down below, and I'd love to guide you guys more through IQ Edge. Anyways, Z community, that's pretty much it for the IQ Edge tutorial. If you found value in this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Anyways, Z community, thank you again for watching. This is me, Tamar Azizz, signing out. Peace.